Hello children, this is our fourth chapter of SST, that is governing ourselves. In this chapter we will get an idea about how the central government and the state government is formed, how the elections of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabhas are held, and how the President and Prime Minister of India are elected, and what is judiciary, and what are different courts in the states and districts of India. So let's start the topic. But before that, India is a union of 29 states and 8 union territories. That means in our country, total number of states are 29 and total union territories are 8. And our Indian constitution, the largest constitution of the world, it needs a government so that it can run the country as a whole and different states properly. So we are having two levels of governments. One is at the central government. Central government is the government which governs the whole country, and the other one is the state government. State government means government at each state. Like children, in Haryana we are having our own government, Punjab different government with different chief minister and different ministers of varying portfolios. Now after that, first of all, Constitution of India. As I already told you that Indian constitution is the longest written constitution, and this particular constitution, it contains powers for the state and the union government. Union government means the government which runs the country. Then the form of the government, our government is in the form of the parliament. Then what is the role and what are the powers of the President of India, and what is the role and what are the powers of Prime Minister of India. Now, what is the role of the government? That means children, as I already told you that we are having two governments. One is the central government. Central government means, again I am telling you, the government which controls the whole of the country. That means the education minister which is at the center, if he forms a policy, that policy will be applicable for whole of the country. Okay, so now what is the role of the central government? Central government, it will defend and protect the borders of the country during wartime. That means protection of the country, protection of the borders of the country, now like we are having disputes with Pakistan and China. So here central government will play the role, and central government will also help all the state governments. If the state government is having any kind of problem, that means if a state government needs funds during floods, famine में जब सूखा पड़ जाता है, riots or any other such problems, then central government is always there to help the state government. And you must have either read in the newspaper or you must have heard in the news also that a particular amount has been granted to a particular state if it is affected by floods or any other such, either the natural calamity or any other such problem. And what is the role of the state government? State government means the government which takes care of all the affairs, all the problems, all the matters of that particular state only. Okay, law and order situation. Law and order situation means to control each and everything. Right now, like we are passing through the stage of the pandemic, so even the use of mask and the social distancing, different rules have been framed by the first the central government and then individually the state government, so that every individual of every state can be protected from this pandemic situation. Now next comes the parliament. What actually is parliament? Parliament is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. You must have heard the names of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So first of all, we talk about the Lok Sabha. Lok means common people, common man. Lok Sabha is also known as House of People or the lower house. This is the other name for the Lok Sabha. Now, the members of the Lok Sabha are directed by us. That means we people, whenever there are elections after every 5 years, we are the peoples who are either 18 years of age or above 18 years of age. Then we cast our vote, and the members or the MLAs, members of the Lok Sabha, they are elected. Then members are elected for a period of 5 years, and these elected members, total number of members of Lok Sabha are 552. 552 are total maximum number of Lok Sabha members. Out of these, 530 members are from the states and 22 members are from the union territories. Okay, so these elected members, these 552 members, they finally elect the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Speaker is the person, as children, it's I have written here. The speaker's responsibility is, as you can see, like the role of the teacher in the class. All the students, if we consider them as the Lok Sabha members, and teacher if we consider as the speaker, then speaker's responsibility is to guide the proceedings. That means if any bill has to be passed, and to maintain the discipline among the different members. You must have heard that a particular bill was placed on the table for discussion, and the leaders or the members of the opposition parties, they moved out of the parliament house. Means they were not in the favor of, they moved out of the parliament house. So all such situations are controlled by the speaker of the Lok Sabha. Now, as I already told you, any Indian citizen who has completed 18 years of age has the right to cast his vote. One more thing, who can contest the Lok Sabha elections? Any candidate who has completed 25 years of age, Indian citizen who has completed 25 years of age, and there must not be any case filed in any of the court of India. He or she is eligible to contest the Lok Sabha election. Contest means कि वो लोक सभा इलेक्शंस को लड़ने के लिए खड़ा हो सकता है, अपना नाम दे सकता है. This was all about Lok Sabha. Next we come to the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is also known as upper house or council of ministers. Now, who is the chairman of Rajya Sabha, children? The Vice President of India is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now, Rajya Sabha members are not elected in the same way as Lok Sabha members are elected. Now, as I already told you, how Lok Sabha members are elected? By us. That means your parents, your grandparents, your cousins or your uncle, auntie, etc. They will go to cast the vote. And many of you must have enjoyed, along with your grandparents or parents, to visit the polling booth, and you know the procedure there. Okay. Now, there is a one difference between Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Many differences are there, but here I am pointing out particular one difference. Rajya Sabha members are elected for a period of 5 years, but Lok Sabha members are elected for a period of 5 years, but Rajya Sabha members are elected for a period of 6 years, and they are elected by state legislative assemblies. That means Vidhan Sabha of the states. Okay. Now, Vidhan Sabha means the state government. Ministers at the state level, they elect the Rajya Sabha members. Maximum numbers for Rajya Sabha is 250. And what is the maximum number for Lok Sabha? As I already told you, 552. Now, for Rajya Sabha, out of these 250 members, 232 members are either from the states, different states and union territories. Okay. 12 members are nominated by President. President selects those 12 members. Those 12 members can be from any field. Now, as I told you that Lok Sabha elections can be contested by any Indian citizen who has completed 25 years of age. But for Rajya Sabha, this age is 30 years. he or she must have completed 30 years of age. Only then he can contest Rajya Sabha elections. Now we move to the next topic. Next topic is the president. Now, president is the head of the country and he is known as the first person of the country. And the wife of the president becomes the first lady of the country. Now, how the president is elected? President is elected by the members of the Rajya Sabha, that means 250 members, members of the Lok Sabha, that means 552 members, and the state legislative assembly members, that means the members of the state government. They elect the president of India. Okay, and again president is elected for a period of 5 years. Next topic is the democracy. Democracy means now here we are going to study about how the government is formed. Before that, we have to understand what is democracy. You must have heard a line, democracy means a government which is formed by the people. This government is of the people and this government is for the people. Means हम ही लोग सरकार बनाते हैं, हम लोगों के द्वारा सरकार बनती है और हमारे लिए ही बनती है. हम लोगों में से ही कुछ लोग अपने आप को नॉमिनेट करते हैं, अपने आप को खड़ा करते हैं, इलेक्शन लड़ते हैं, फिर हम उन्हें चूज करते हैं और फिर वो हमारे ही बेटरमेंट के लिए, हमारी ग्रोथ के लिए, हमारी सेफ्टी के लिए काम करते हैं. Now India is a democratic country, so that means the government which is going to be formed is by us and it will be for us. Now I am telling you how the government is formed, and it is at the both levels, that means at the central and at the state level. Procedure is same. First of all, who will contest the election? Any Indian citizen with minimum 25 years of age can contest the election. Okay, either he will contest the election as an independent candidate, that means he is not interested to be a part of any party. We are having so many parties in India, like BJP party, Congress party, and so many other parties are there. These two are main parties. Now they will contest the election, we will cast our vote, and the party which gets maximum seats, like right now we are having the government of BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, because this particular party has won maximum seats. Okay, this party has won at the maximum places. So this party has got maximum seats, so it will form the government. Sometimes children, what happen, one particular party, now suppose I talk about Congress party. Congress party could not win by itself maximum number of seats, so it could not form the government. So it will ask the other parties which has got the maximum number, which has also won, it will ask other parties to join Congress party so that they can form a coalition government. Coalition government means the government which is formed by either two parties or more than two parties. That is known as a coalition government. Now party is there. So now either these two parties or three parties together or one party by itself which has got the maximum number of seats, they will choose their leader. Like BJP has won, so BJP was having Mr. Narendra Modi as its leader, so he was appointed as the Prime Minister by the President of India. Okay, now when Prime Minister is decided, he has been elected as the Prime Minister of India, then he will form his cabinet and Council of Ministers. That means he will assign different portfolios, like one education minister, one finance minister. This way he will choose his ministers. Now these ministers, they can be from the Lok Sabha, that means which are elected by the people, or by the Rajya Sabha, the members which have been elected by the state legislative assemblies. Now there is one other party. Which is other party? one party known as the opposition party. The second major party who has won the election, it will play the role of an opposition party, and the leader of that party or the members of that particular party, opposition party, they will select their leader also. Now next we come to the and the same way state government is there. The leader of the majority party at the center, he will become the prime minister, and if we talk about the state, the leader of the majority party in the state, he will become the chief minister, and the members of that particular party are known as the MLAs, members of the legislative assembly, and legislative assembly is also known as Vidhan Sabha. Okay, the role is same. State government, it has to take care of the state, and the central government, it has to take care of the complete country. Now the last topic of our chapter is judiciary. Judiciary means Nyay Vyavastha or Nyay Pranali. In India, judiciary is independent. That means the judges, they can give decision even for the president also, for the prime minister also. Nobody can control judiciary. It's an independent body. And Supreme Court is the highest court, or known as the apex court. It is in New Delhi, and the Chief Justice of India is in Supreme Court. Now the rest of the judges are appointed by the President of India. And if we talk about the state, for the state, highest court is the High Court, and for Punjab and Haryana, it is in Chandigarh. And each district of each state has its own either district court or a session court, along with their judges also. Every court has a chief justice, every court, and other sub judges, and so many lawyers are also there. So children, this chapter is finished. Okay, bye, take care.